Hello everyone and welcome back to part 2 of Can You Beat Final Fantasy VIII with Cards Only. Our story continues with us once again in the dream world controlling Laguna. We learn he has been here in this little village for several months resting after the cliff incident. Ilone leads us across the road to the local pub, and we are surprised by the sudden appearance of Kiros. He informs Laguna he's been searching for him for quite some time and fills him in on various things that's happened since the cliffside, mainly being that Ward now works in a prison and has completely lost his voice.
No, God! No! God, please, no!
The rest of the Windhill section plays out as follows. Laguna tells Kiros that while the men from the town are away at war, he protects the village by dealing with the local monster problems. There are no boss fights in Windhill, and it doesn't affect the rest of the story except for leveling up. You can even skip the fights entirely and just go straight to sleep, so for the sake of the edit and not wasting your time, I'm just going to skip to the next part of the game. We arrive back with a part of the original team. Zell tells us that this time he dreamed only of Ward and didn't see Laguna and Kiros. He tells the group that Ward now works in a prison and quickly realizes they are in said prison. Suddenly some guards give Zell a royal good kicking and inquires to who is Renoa and take her away from the group.
How dare you?
We return to Squall and find him all tied up and being tortured by Cypher.
Good heavens.
Cypher demands to know what the secret to seed the elite mercenaries is. Squall tells him that there isn't one. Cypher responds and tells him that the rest of the group will be tortured just as badly if Squall doesn't talk. Squall sadly passes out from the pain. We once again return to Zell's group. The group decides that they have to escape and come up with a plan using Zell's Fists of Fury. Zell does the classic misdirection with the guards. Help, help, the prisoners have been bitten by a snake. He goes to investigate and for his good measure gets punched in the dick. We climb one floor and easily find the group's weapons. We are thrown into a quick battle which is no problem whatsoever, even as Zell on our own. We return to the group and are thrown into our second Biggs and Wedge boss battle. Biggs and Wedge are shocked to see that the group are fully armed. This boss battle is incredibly straightforward. Biggs and Wedge only cast low-level weak magic and also only perform low-level weak physical attacks. Now due to the story, I did notice that I've not been able to play cards for quite some time, so to make sure that the higher level magics last longer, I decide for this boss fight to use my weak magic just to make him go a bit further. The group decide to search for Squall and head up the tower. En route, various prison doors open and have various things inside, such as a shop, card players who charge but you can win various items from, and hidden items and save points themselves. We reunite with Squall and decide to use the big crane to check out what is at the bottom of the tower, as going up doesn't seem to have really achieved anything. We check out a door underground and find it filled with sand. That means that we are currently underground and will have to return up. Now here is where I made a huge mistake with this run. When I regained control of Squall, I junctioned all of Zell's stats back to Squall himself, leaving Zell useless and unable to do anything, so I had to take the death and restart this entire section.
Fuck off.
Important lesson learnt, make sure to save regularly, as I only had to begin from the beginning of Disc 2. After a quick run around, we are saved by Squall and reunited with the rest of the group. We head back to the top of the towers and are thrown into another fairly easy battle with low-level threat enemies. The elite soldier and the Gym 52As don't worry me whatsoever. The Gyms are machines, therefore they are weak to thunder magic, and we can just spam any old magic at the soldier to finish him off. The only struggle is the elite soldier casts shell magic, but with simple spamming even this isn't enough to stop us. We escape and find out that Balam and Trabia, Selfie's old garden, are being targeted by missiles.
It's a bomb!
We are too late to stop the first wave headed for Trabia, so the group splits in two to stop the second wave and inform Balam Garden of the incoming danger. Before heading to the first area, the missile base, I take a quick detour back to Dealing City to heal, sell and convert my Minotaur card for 10 adamantine to help create some of the game's best weapons. While also on this detour, we pay a quick visit to Daddy Caraway to challenge him for the Renoa card. He will, however, only play this card after we lose the Ifrit card to him first. And trust me when I say this, losing cards on purpose isn't easy. We replay him instantly and he plays the Renoa card with a load of low level cards beside it. We win this match easily and the Renoa card is ours. A double A card is very rare indeed. We re-challenge him hoping to win back the Ifrit card we just lost, but Gaming BS slaps us in the face and Daddy Caraway tells us he lost it to Garden Master Martine. The lady group arrives at the base, dons uniforms, and the plan is to sabotage and stop the next missile launch. Now, in this area, if you perform the correct actions and aid several people around the base, you don't actually have to fight anyone, which is exactly what I did, as we know FF8 enemies level up with you, so we want to battle as little as often. So far so good, the enemies haven't conned on to us, and we can continue to sabotage their base. We gain access to the launch pad and set the missile fire error ratio to maximum in order to hopefully divert the missiles upon impact. We enter the final area of the base and are finally rumbled, after which we are thrown into a very basic battle with enemies not even worth our time. We find the base self-destruct button and go to leave the base. Sadly, a second set of missiles are fired and we can only hope we did enough to stop them. Before we can escape the base, the girls are thrown into a boss battle with the BGH tank. Another machine battle means simply spamming thunder magic to exploit its weakness. This boss battle was so easy, in fact, upon watching it back, I realised that the tank only attacked me once. After enough damage is dealt to said tank, it explodes and 3 basic soldiers come out to fight us. We kill them quickly and without any stress. After the boss fight, the girls find themselves trapped in the base explodes and the girls are killed horrifically. We return to the boys and find the garden in total chaos. Faculty members approach us asking if we are loyal to Norg or Sid. What the hell is going on? Amidst the chaos, we meet Raijin and Fujin and tell them about the potential impending missiles. They tell us they will evacuate the garden while we look for the headmaster. They tell us to proceed with caution as the garden master's goons are out for blood. Now, in each corridor of the garden, there will be a goon who will attack you with a basic beast. There are a lot of corridors in garden and this takes quite a significant amount of time, but these fights are easy and end very quickly, so to save time we're just going to skip them to the next part. After defeating all the monsters, we locate Zyu, who tells us that Headmaster Sid has been hiding in his office all this time. Really? No one thought to check? We reunite with Sid and he tells us that Garden used to be a shelter. He suggests we try to go to the MD level as a means to save Garden. He doesn't know what's down there, but he hopes it will help. The MD level requires you to perform various tasks, such as loosening this wheel, climbing this ladder, activating this console, and pulling this lever. We are thrown into a boss battle against the Oil Boils. These enemies are not particularly strong. They do some physical attacks, but they don't cause a lot of damage. They are also weak to the fire element, so I shall consistently spam fire magics at them. Zell did die during this fight, because I can't heal, but screw him, right? Another victory, and we can proceed through the MD level. At the end of the MD level, Squall touches a console that starts a chain reaction. Sid is sadly thrown into space by a sudden tower, and like a cliche movie sequence, Garden narrowly misses the missiles and flies away. Garden lands in the ocean and drifts aimlessly. This gives us some free time to rest and play some cards to restock some magics. A Garden faculty member stops us and says we are summoned by the Garden Master and to take the lift to the basement. Before we do that, however, we can finally challenge the CC Card Club, Balam Garden's best card players. First up is Jack. He holds no rare cards, but playing him means we can climb the ladder and spam card playing to earn lots of good and eventually rare cards. The next CC card player is called Club. Like Jack, he holds no rare cards, but Club does play a few high level cards for us to earn. Next up on the CC challenge ladder is the twin players Diamond. Like with their predecessors, they do hold some high level cards but no rare cards. After some much needed card grinding, we head down to the basement and speak to Garden Master Norg. We tell the Garden Master that we failed to assassinate Sorceress Adia. He tells us we were fooled by Martine and starts to become paranoid. He says that Sid and Adia, who are married apparently, are trying to take away his garden. In order to appease Sorceress Adia's anger, he says he will offer us to her as a sacrifice to make amends. Obviously we're not down for this and we decide to kick his head in.
Stop! Stop! He's already dead!
Now, the Norg boss fight has 3 parts. The first part being the dome protecting Norg. We need to deal enough damage to the dome to expose him. The second is the orbs on Nord's pod. These orbs will turn red and spam you with high level magics. You can reset this by hitting the orbs, but sadly because we can't attack we will have to endure a barrage of magics. The third and final part to this fight is Norg himself. Once we've dealt enough damage to the dome and exposed him, we can then start to damage Norg. Now Norg does sadly hold the Leviathan GF, but because we can't draw, it's another Guardian Force we're going to have to miss on this run. Now this boss fight was a challenge. Zell got afflicted with the poison status effect and died very quickly. Leaving me 2 fighters, I knew I had to try and end this fight quickly. Then Norg hit Irvine with a silent spell, leaving him unable to cast magic. Panic did start to set in here as I could now only use Squall to attack, and I had to use Irvine to keep using X potions I got from grinding cards to keep them both alive. Suddenly, Norg also hit Squall with a silent spell, leaving me unable to attack whatsoever. What was I going to do? Well, quickly I double checked my inventory and realised that I had Holy Stones left. So I simply had to spam the use of Holy Stones as these don't count when afflicted with silence. Lesson learned here, better item management is needed in case anything like this happens again, so that I still have a chance to win fights. After Norg, we carry on with the CC card group challenge and play against Spade. Spade again has no rare cards but a lot of high level cards for us to earn. Next in the CC card group is Joker. Joker appears randomly in the training ground and holds 1 rare card, the Leviathan GF card. After defeating Joker, we find Zhu, who tells us to go to the 2nd floor as a ship has docked next to us. We are told this is Adia's ship and the crew are her seeds. They have come for Alone and we are sent to find her. We find Alone in the library. Squall confirms that she is the same Alone from the dreams. Alone tells us the visions are from the past and if we could change something in the past, shouldn't we try? Alone is escorted away as Squall freaks out. While aimlessly drifting, Balam Garden crashes into Fisherman's Horizon and Headmaster Sid sends us to apologise to the mayor. The mayor agrees to repair the damage and upgrade our garden as long as we leave quickly. The people of Fisherman's Horizon believe peaceful negotiation will sort all forms of conflict. To the right of the mayor's house we find Martine and challenge him for the Ifrit card he gained from General Caraway. We find the mayor talking to the Galbadian army who threatens to burn down Fisherman's Horizon while they're searching for Alone. We save the mayor and throw ourselves into a fight with 3 basic enemies. Afterwards we are attacked by the tank from the missile base, which is looking a bit worse for wear. The strategy for the fight is exactly the same as before. We will simply spam thunder magic at it in order to reduce its HP. Surprisingly, even though it's beat up this time, it actually managed to kill one of my teammates. Zell has died again. Maybe we need to rethink him on our team. Jesus, this thing killed Squall too. How is it this hard the 2nd time around?
Holy shit!
It almost killed Irvine as well. What the hell is going on? Finally, it's dead. And surprisingly, we're reunited with the girls who managed to escape the explosion on the tank itself. I decide now I've got some free time to convert all of the cards up into the rare cards in order to boost my stats and magics. We find a depressed Selfie outside the garden area and Irvine suggests that the garden festival should go ahead and the group decide to put on a performance in front of the mayor's house in Fisherman's Horizon. Renoa gets dolled up like an American pageant contestant and tells Squall to join her at the performance. During the performance, Renoa mocks Squall and Squall tries to give her a backhand.
You're pathetic!
And in retaliation, Renoa pushes him off a cliff. After the performance, we can carry on with CC Card Group side quest is Zhu. Zhu holds the Carnbuckle card and a lot of high level cards as well. Sadly, I forgot that she holds the Carnbuckle card and didn't realise this until much later. We finally gain control of movement of Balam Garden and decide to head back to Balam City itself. Instantly we notice another floating garden in the distance. What the heck is going on in Balam? We tell the guards at the door that we have information about a loan so that they will let us in. Now, I've always hated the Balam Garden section of this part of the game because it's a massive puzzle that requires you to do a bunch of things such as speak to a dog, enter Zell's mum house to find someone cooking fish, go to the train station, etc. But there is a way to skip all this by simply going back and forth from these two screens here, and eventually the guards will move and then start a cutscene so that you can just fight the boss Raijin. Raijin and his cronies are no trouble whatsoever. The two basic enemies go down instantly, and with the 3-on-1 onslaught from my team, there's no trouble in this fight whatsoever. Raijin in previous playthroughs of mine does tend to fight with high level physical attacks, and you are supposed to protect yourself from them by casting Protect. Sadly, we don't have this. The only thing I do remember not to do is to make sure not to use any thunder based magic, as Raijin does absorb them. In this fight, Raijin doesn't really use any physical attacks, or none that cause me too much damage anyway, so with a perpetual onslaught of magic attacks from myself, Raijin goes down quickly, and now we can prepare for part 2 of this fight, which will come in a second. Raijin and Fujin together can be a pain. Fujin absorbs wind magic and Raijin still absorbs thunder magic, so this does limit our use of spells. Raijin still hits hard with physical attacks, and Fujin does cast Tornado, which hits all our party members. Raijin will also start to heal using high potions to cure 1000 HP after enduring so much damage. Fujin sadly also possesses the Pandemonium GF, but once again, as we can't draw, this is another GF, we're going to have to miss this run. Once again, we take out Raijin, and that only leaves Fujin standing in our way. On a 3 against 1 assault, this ends very quickly and we can move on to the next part of the game. After the fight, Selphie asks us if we can visit Trebia Garden to see what happened after the missiles hit. But before we do that, we take a quick detour back to Fisherman's Horizon, as I did forget earlier to play Mayor Dobie for the Quetzalcoatl card. No battles happen in Trebia, just story dialogue. The group realises they all grew up together in an orphanage, which they have forgotten due to apparently using GFs, and realise the matron of the orphanage is none other than Sorceress Adia herself. En route to the orphanage, we once again see Galbadia Garden and we prepare for an all-out assault. During the clash, Renoa gets caught on a cliff edge. In order to rescue her, we have to play one of the most infuriating mini-games in Final Fantasy VIII. I can't tell you how many times I've lost this fight on previous playthroughs, but luckily I managed to do it first time this time, and in taking control of the machine, we swoop in to save Renoa, and hopefully we'll get some more smacky bum bum time. We enter Galbadia Garden at last in order to find Sorceress Adia. Before that, we have to find multiple students possessing key cards in order to open certain doors in order to progress. Before we take on the final boss of Galbadia Garden, we are given a rare opportunity to earn another GF, the Cerberus GF. This fight, while it wasn't tricky, does come with a few problems. Cerberus has the triple ability, which means that it can cast 3 types of magic spells in one turn. Because of this fact, Cerberus does have a high magical defense stat, so whatever magics we use will not be very effective against him. Cerberus has abilities such as silence and stop and sleep, so we do need to finish this fight quickly to make sure that he doesn't instantly KO us or make us unable to heal certain status effects. Cerberus isn't hitting too hard in this fight. It does use a couple of high level spells such as Thundaga, but we can make him waste turns by using shell stones in order for him to cast Dispel, which is a non-offensive attack. After using several of our stones to deal what seems like mediocre damage, Cerberus finally succumbs and agrees to join us. Another GF means more invaluable stat boosts to help us on this run. We grab the last key and are ready to take on the final bosses of Disc 2. Now, before this fight has even started, I've already made 2 critical mistakes. Not only have I forgotten to heal Renoa, but I've also forgotten to take the silent status effect off Renoa and Quistis as well. But you know what, screw it, we're going to attempt this fight with these disadvantages and see if we can still win. Cypher isn't exactly a hard boss, he simply relies on high physical attacks and also various fire-based magic spells. The physical attacks can be counteracted with Protect Stones and the magics can be counteracted with the Shell Stones. Due to 2 of my characters being silenced, I've decided I'm simply going to spam stones with them, and I thought for good measure I may as well do it with Squall as well. I have lots of various high level magic stone spells such as Holy Magic and Meteor due to me grinding several hours worth of cards. If I conjunction better magics to my magic stat, then these stones will perform a lot more damage than the current mediocre damage they're currently doing. By simply repeating both Holy and Meteor damage, Cypher is taken down quickly and we can move on to the second part of this boss fight and move towards the end of Disc 2. So here it is, the final boss of Disc 2, Enter Adia and her amazing entrance. So the final boss fight plays out exactly the same to begin with in the previous fight. We start off against Cypher. Cypher is much weaker this time compared to the previous fight we just had. Now I realised in the previous fight that I'd got the silent status effect. I thought I could cure it, but I did not have the items enabled to do so. You can't get those items from grinding. So until I can rest, they will have to be stuck with the silence effect and I will have to simply use stones in order to counteract this status effect. We quickly defeat Cypher and are faced with the main challenge, Adia. Adia starts off this fight with the Maelstrom attack, which causes us to lose a percentage of our health and inflicts us with the status effect Curse. Adia focuses on high level based magical attacks and causing various status effects to our party. If we try to boost our party, she will simply dispel them. We can use this as a hack to make her waste turns, but I decide to simply persevere and just keep spamming her with attacking. She did take out Quistis at one point during the fight, which only left me 2 fighters. We simply spam various magical attacks and stones at her and eventually whittle her down her HP. Victory! We've defeated the final boss of Disc 2 and thus have completed this video. I hope you'll stick around for Disc 3, which will be released in the upcoming months. My release date is for no later than late January to early Feb. Thank you for watching part 2 and I hope you'll drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.